Good afternoon and welcome to the 2026 IPF World Powerlifting Championships here in Druskininkai, Lithuania. I am Emilia Potter, joined in the booth by Ryan Lapadat. And Ryan, this afternoon for us we have the 76 kilo women, and what a flight of women it is as well. We have returning athlete Cranen Warford looking to snatch her first world title here. Rising star Zuzana Mazur from Poland chasing that lead and seeing how close she can get to taking that crown today. Below that, a big fight for that overall podium. First we have two flights, a flight B before the A flight. Very, very stacked class today.
Yeah, Cranen at American Nationals posted up the total bigger than the current standing world record, and judging by her opener, might be pacing to contest that. She opened at American Nationals with 220. Today she's opening at 217.5.
And during this prep, she was looking extremely strong and then suffered an adductor injury. But seems like with that opening attempt coming in, feeling a little bit healthier. So hopefully seeing that top end from Cranen today. And with Zuzana Mazur, the young rising Polish star coming in, she might need to be that strong.
Time will tell. Speaking of Cranen and her coach Joey Flex, they think she was all the way back, but 2.5 kilos off the opening mark from U.S. Nationals. I think that opener is really going to tell the day on the pacing and what they expect.
We'll have to see how that pans out as we head into opening Scots for the B group. Pia Marangione from South Africa opening with 145 kilos.
That looks good.
Barazodi Fatoizi from Singapore opening with 155 kilos. Two and a half kilos below her best. Nice conservative looking opener here.
When you have travel like you do from Singapore, possibly cutting weight, you don't want to take any chances. Take a nice, smooth, easy opener, and that looks right on the mark.
3 wide lights here, deadlift.
The bar is loaded.
Representing Thailand, we have Selena Wells opening with 162.5 kilos. Already 7.5 kilos under her max here, so clearly had a strong prep heading into the competition. Lovely easy opener. That opening attempt can be quite nerve-wracking sometimes, so handled that extremely well, especially being a bit newer to the international stage. Good lift.
The bar is loaded.
Nisha Shvantnerova from Czechia looking to open with 165 kilos. Slightly dropped her opening attempt here. Always sensible if your warm-ups are not feeling exactly as you expected them to adjust for the day.
Looked like a good call. That moved like an opener should.
Yeah, so you've got to think whatever it was before, maybe they weren't as confident in, but I agree with you, Ryan.
The bar is loaded.
Definitely a good choice to move to that weight. Danielle Waldeck from South Africa, opening with 165 kilos.
Master lifter has previously hit as heavy as 180 kilos. Nice opening squat.
Three white lights here, good lift.
Bar is loaded.
Representing Belgium, Gabby Muller looks to open with 165 kilos. She's 10 kilos below her best here.
Gabby weighing in at 72.15. I'm assuming she did not cut weight. Helps when it's travel.
A little bit sticky for an opening attempt, but gets that on the board.
The bar is loaded.
Depth for sure. Yeah, there is a bit of a transition period from the midpoint to lockout.
Mariska Martins, also representing Belgium, opening here with 170 kilos.
And these two ladies rather close in the projected. The battle for Belgium.
And that is a good lift, 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded.
Katya Kurtzlava from Georgia, opening with 175 kilos.
Interesting enough, her listed personal best, 177.5. We're awfully close to that. Weighing in at 73.55. Likely also not to have cut weight.
3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, quite an array of body weights in the 76 kilo class. A lot of lighter lifters.
The bar is loaded.
Rafaela Reis, representing Portugal here, looking to open with 175 kilos. 10 kilos off her best squat.
Makes easy work of it. Another lifter that doesn't appear to have cut, 75.05. I think a lot of these ladies look like they just cruise into the 76 kilo class. If you're traveling, makes it a lot easier. A lot less intangibles. The weights you hit in prep, more likely to be taken on the platform.
Chanel Swart, representing New Zealand, 177.5 kilos. 3 M1 lifters in this B group of 76ers.
Representing New Zealand and master lifters. New Zealand, not a short travel. 10 kilos below her personal best. Handles it well.
Now our penultimate opening attempt. We now head into our final opening attempt with Modesta Varillas from Mexico, looking to open at 195 kilos. Just 10 kilos off a best of 205.
Mexico, well represented at this year's World Championships. think I've seen a lifter in every single session so far. Depth looks good. Ooh, very sticky opening attempt though.
Yeah, a little bit of work, and I'd imagine if they're sensible, some smaller jumps there to the second and third.
Again, another lifter. She weighed in at 74 kilos. Weight cut, not going to be an issue. But they do need to have a conversation. Small jump to the second.
With that, all 11 lifters on the board with their opening attempts as we head through to the second round of squats. 152.5 kilos for Pia Marangione from South Africa, a 7.5 kilo jump. Lands her just 5 kilos below her personal best. Sticks with it really nicely. It's a good lift, certainly slowed down from her opener as you'd expect, and perhaps looking to add another couple kilos there to her third.
Hits depth, and yeah, right about the midpoint, there's a slowdown, but you'd expect that in your second attempt. I think she still has her AirPods in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been caught there.
That's
The song was good. The song must have been good.
just in that zone, locked in.
Twizy 165. Good spot from you there, Ryan. 10 kilo jump.
I'm gonna lift a little bit more with the proper motivational speech in my ear.
You listen to yourself speaking when you
That's
lift.
right.
Yeah.
That's what Gavin needed actually, but
Moves well, regardless of the sticky start to the squat.
you gotta wonder, did her song get cut off at the wrong point? Throw her off a little bit.
You hate to see it. It's a lovely second attempt. And I'm sure she'll remember to take those earphones out the next time round. 10 kilo jump here for Selena Wells representing Thailand. This already would be a 2.5 kilo personal best for Wells. Yeah, really steady second attempt there for Wells. Really strong. 3 white lights.
Definitely has appropriate room for a third.
Yeah, already hitting a personal best. I say she could add probably 5 onto that. 2.5 the safer option, but 5 looks like it could be there. Gabby Muller for Belgium, 172.5 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump. And 3 white lights, a good lift for Gabby. Denisa Shvantanarova for Czechia, 175 kilos, a 10 kilo jump, landing her 10 kilos below her personal best.
So far, so good with this attempt selection. All the national teams getting the first one in, second attempts, appropriate jumps, appropriate work, no surprises.
Danielle Weldeck taking a 10 kilo jump to 175 for her second.
And he continues with Danielle.
The bar is loaded.
180 kilos loaded onto the bar for Mariska Martins from Belgium. A 10 kilo jump from her opener. Still moving really well there for Martins. 3 white lights, a good lift and plenty in the tank for that third. She seems pretty happy with it too. Skips off the platform.
The bar is loaded.
Katia Kurtsalava from Georgia, 182.5 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump for a 5 kilo personal best. It's work, but manages to stand it up. There's a depth call from that centre referee. Let's have a look at that again in the replay and tell me what you think there, Ryan.
The bar is loaded.
You know what? Right on that line. I could see why it was a split decision. 2-1 in her favor, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, the jury has overruled it to a no lift. So jury not quite happy with that depth. Rafaela Reis, 182.5 for the Portuguese lifter.
Three white lights.
The bar is loaded.
Chanel Swart from New Zealand taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 185 for her second attempt.
Solid second attempt. Rewarded with 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded.
Our final second attempt before we head through to the third and final round for the B group, followed immediately on by the A group. Modesta Varillas from Mexico taking a 10 kilo leap to 205 on her second attempt. This would match her current best. Remember, there's a little bit of a slowdown for Varillas on her opening attempt, so taking a pretty big leap to 205 here. See how it moves.
This would equal her personal best, and I agree. Somewhat surprised on a 10 kilo jump. Maybe she said it was just a sudden loss of tension, and it's there. Wow, you know what?
It's a
Might
lovely.
have looked, cleaner than the opener.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
And that's where that back, see, she's almost saying, I told you so. Sometimes the lifter will come back there and say, look it, I know what happened. Couple corrections, we're back on track, please load it. Coaching staff having faith, loaded it up, and she's at 205.
And we head to the final round of squats now for this B flight. Pia Mangione from South Africa, 155, opting for that 2.5 kilo jump. I think sensible here in this case. And that seems like the right number to me. Difficult final lift. It doesn't empty the tank so much that she's got no energy for the remaining 6 lifts.
The bar is loaded.
Swayze from Singapore, 170 kilos. 5 kilo jump. Remembered to take her headphones out before the platform this time round. Second moved very well, even with the slight disturbance beforehand. Potentially more rush setup.
And that is a nice fight for your third and final. Leaving no kilos on the table, and she's happy with that. Farhana Farouk, 52 kilo star, world record holder in the deadlifts, handling.
Selena Wells, representing Thailand, taking a 5 kilo jump to 177.5 kilos to further extend her personal best. And based on a second, I think 5 kilos should be there. Of course, 2.5 kilos, always the safer option, but 5 kilos seemed like it's there in the day. Let's see if she can execute and pick up those extra kilos. It's a big fight, but just gets stuck in the middle there. And sometimes squatters do have that style where it's quick until it isn't, and perhaps the case here with Wells. Gabby Muller from Belgium, 177.5 kilos. 5 kilo jump rate, 2.5 kilo personal best.
That looks good, and at no point any breakdown in form. Nice smooth third attempt, 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded.
Danielle Waldeck from South Africa, taking a 5 kilo jump to 180. For a match personal best here on her third.
A little too much, able to just get out of the hole, but the brakes come on quick.
The bar is loaded.
182.5 kilos for Denisa Shvantanarova from Czechia. Just 2.5 kilos below her current best, so getting very close to that known top end here.
Nice final attempt, 7.5 kilo jump from her second.
The bar is loaded.
Katya Katsalava. Jury overruled her second on account of depth, looking to retake 182.5. And let's see if that's any better.
I think it's going to be on the line once again. 3 white lights.
Centre referee happy enough with it this time. Jury can't touch it. She collects those extra 7.5 kilos.
The bar is loaded.
Yeah, that did look a little better now that I look at the replay.
Mariska Martins, 187.5, 7.5 kilo jump, and the 180 was very tidy. You've got to think she's got this jump in her for a 2.5 kilo personal best.
Nice scrappy third attempt.
The bar is loaded. No more changes to the openers. No more changes.
190 kilos for Chanel Swart of New Zealand.
Good attempt selection by Team New Zealand, guiding their lifter to 3 for 3 and a personal best.
The bar is loaded.
– 190 kilos for Rafaela Reis for Portugal. 7.5 kilo jump. Very comfortable looking third attempt and a good lift. 3 white lights.
5 kilo personal best for her.
The bar is loaded.
And our final squat from the B group here, Modesta Vrias from Mexico, 212.5, an outside shot potentially of a squat medal, but a lot of heavy hitters in that A group. Second looked a lot better than the opener, but what does an extra 7.5 kilos do here? It's a big fight. I'm wondering if she cut depth a little bit this time round.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm also wondering. And it looks like we got the answer. The jury will be able to review this. Sometimes they go in the lifter's favor, but that's right on that line.
Yeah, it seems like the jury are happy with that decision as we now move through to the A group. Ria still leading with the 205, but I think that outside shot of a squat medal has gone now, as you can see the opening attempts from the A group. Kicking us off, we have Kezia Hunt, 177.5 kilos from Trinidad and Tobago, and the last name is not a coincidence.
No, wife of Rondell Hunt, who will be lifting tomorrow.
A very strong opening attempt from Hunt.
I can tell you Kezia's progress as a lifter, it's been a fast rise.
Yeah, already in the A group in a pretty stacked class here.
You can imagine training with Rondell. She's going to be a contender rather quickly.
Yeah, she did get a depth call from the referees, and the jury's overruled that, unfortunately, for Hunt to a no lift. Nino Trixavili from Georgia, 180 kilos.
No question on depth.
And there's a good lift, 3 white lights. Imagine we'd see some small jumps from Nino there. It was a little slow for an opening attempt, but very strong. Perhaps sunk it a little bit more than usual. An extremely recognizable name on the international circuit, Clara Peyrot from France, 187.5 kilos. Definite podium contender.
Yeah, Clara has been to multiple world championships, European champion, junior world champion. Her brother also very deep resume, the entire family involved in powerlifting. She's a podium threat.
Very speedy opener for Clara as well.
And gauging by that, 187 and a half. That's top end opening weight for her. Last time we saw her opening with 187 and a half was at World Games.
I think she and Team France are very aware of how stacked this division has become, and they need to push heavy from the start.
And it moved like an appropriate opener. Look, it's one thing to be bold with an opening weight, but you need to handle it, make it look like an opener.
Clara also can grind, which is rare in all three lifts. Ellen Gronlund from Finland, 187.5 kilos. Smooth looking opener for Gronlund.
Yeah, solid opening attempt.
With a depth call from the left side referee. Now we've seen the jury active already, so we'll have a look at that again on the replay. This is the side, of course, she gets that white light from. All smiles from the jury, however, so not sure they're looking to turn that over. And worrying if they are. Hema Govind from New Zealand, 190 kilos. New Zealand, as always, bringing a very strong team to Worlds.
Good opening squat. And yeah, of course, tomorrow, Carlina Tongatea of New Zealand looks poised to make a move in the 84 kilo class. Former 76 kilo world champion moved up and looking like one of the favorites to clinch the title.
We have Chisholm Eze from Canada, 190 kilos. And Ryan, I'm going to say it now, a definite threat for the podium overall, with a monster deadlift on her. And a very speedy opening attempt. I think keep your eyes on Eze. 3 white lights.
Canadian team also rarely miss when it comes to attempt selection, and that's going to make a difference when it's a close race to get onto that podium.
I can certainly attest to that. That is not Ryan's bias. They are very good at those attempt selections.
Oh, I have no bias. I'm ever the professional.
Now, rising star, only 20 years old, reigning junior world champion Susanna Mazur from Poland. An extremely impressive young athlete, and the only athlete really that is likely to press Crane and Warford today. 195, 15.5 kilos below her own junior world record.
When she won the European Juniors, this is the weight she opened up at. A lot of hype on this young lady.
And you can see why. Look at that.
Very easy work. And in the 76 kilo class, we've seen teenage sensations come out of Poland. You can't take her lightly.
Absolutely not. Team USA going to have to keep an eye on Team Poland today. Betty Hanlon from Great Britain, 195 kilos. Dropped her opener by 2.5. It is a tight battle, and you want to collect every kilo you can. We saw it in the 69s last night, so perhaps a smart decision from Team GB here. Betty, also a potential podium contender.
Oh, Betty, when she took a bronze at Europeans in her last outing, opened with 192.5. This is still 2.5 kilos up from there. This is a big opener for her.
And it's a good lift, 3 white lights. Looking strong today. Tessa Ophoff from the Netherlands, 195 kilos. 10 kilos off her best squat already.
Moved well. Judges 2-1 give it to her.
Just looking at that depth call from the referees as we watch it again in the replay.
I was thinking it was on the line. That replay looks like it is on the line. The jury is deliberating.
I'm a little worried about it. It looks like they're not in agreement, so it might just stand. But won't want to go any higher than that.
Tread softly, young lady.
Justyna Szarek from Poland, a 1-2 hit here in the squat event. 197.5 for the Polish athlete. Bar is loaded, 30 seconds left to go, coming out a little bit late there.
Just building anticipation is all.
Let's hope that's what it is. Needs to get the command before the clock reaches 0. She's certainly not worried about it though. And on 5 seconds to go, she gets that command. Anticipation built.
Wide stance, upper torso, very much upright. 3 white lights.
Yeah, quite a difficult position to tell depth from, which is why I'm always hesitant to call that before we see those lights.
Agreed. It's, yeah, it does look like depth on that replay, but it is tough. Difficult angles.
Our penultimate opening attempt here, Mara Hames from Germany, 202.5 kilos. Came second at the European Championships.
Interesting enough. When she took that silver at Euros, opened at 202.5, the biggest opener she's ever done. Missed it. Had to take it again on her second. Let's see how she handles it this time.
No issues there to me.
Yeah, looks much, much better this time. 3 white lights.
And as a podium contender, if she is able to hit all of those squats, then definitely putting some pressure on.
And she will be a podium contender. And at Euros, she had to retake that weight for a second, take a more conservative jump for her third. Because she hit it on her opener, she's going to end up having more of an opportunity to build that total this time.
Now, favorite to win, Crane and Warford from the United States. Came in injured during prep, looking a lot healthier now, and let's hope that is the case as she looks to open at 217.5, the personal best squat of 240.
Unofficial world record at U.S. Nationals. Last year's silver medalist. Before that, the year bronze medalist. Could it be gold this time? Depth is always, sorry, go ahead.
It's a great opening attempt for Warford.
I was going to say, depth is always undeniable.
Well,
Brennan, very deep squatter.
You know, coming in with an adductor injury, that bottom position is going to be strenuous, so she does look healthy today, and that definitely means that Team Poland are going to have to be on point to even try and threaten her.
And again, 220 is what she opened with at U.S. Nationals. Dropped that just 2.5 kilos and made it look like a proper opener. It looks like, at least so far, she's on form. Let's see what they do for a second attempt.
We move through to those second attempts. All bar Kezia Hunt on the board. Just struggling with a depth issue. Nino Trixavili, 185.
Oh, that slowed down.
It is a good lift. Yeah, the opening attempt, I think we mentioned, was a little bit tough. So I think that 5 kilo jump, sensible, perhaps looking for a 2.5 on that.
I get it because it's quite a bit below her personal best. I'm not sure if she's going to be in and around her personal best on the day. We'll see.
Kezia Hunt now coming out for 185 kilos. Got called on depth for her opening attempt and actually is choosing to go up, Ryan, 5 kilos above her personal best.
Always risky business, but let's see. 7.5 kilo jump. You missed the first one on depth. Let's hope. Strength is there on the second. Depth looks there.
Yeah, that looked a lot better than her opener. And 2-1. The risk seems to pay off, but with the angle we're going to see here is where she still gets that depth call. And we'll see what the jury think.
And this is the angle of the red. Well, it looks about on that line. Jury is deliberating.
Oh, and they've
Oh my
overruled it
gosh.
to a no lift, and perhaps looking to keep that number the same moving into that third seems sensible.
My gosh, it's got to be the only move. Do not move beyond 185. She's got to sink it now.
Clara Perrault from France, 195 kilos. 7.5 kilo jump. This is around top end for Clara.
It is, yeah. She's only done 2.5 kilos more.
And that looks about where Clara's second usually does.
When she won the Europeans, that's where she left off. Before that, at French Nationals, she did 195 for her second attempt, but missed 197.5. This is definitely near the top end. Are they being overly ambitious?
I think they're going to have to collect those kilos. 200 has to be the sensible play. It'll be interesting to see if they try and push that any further. For 197 even.
I would be more comfortable with 197. I understand the pressure to throw on kilos, but again, when you start missing, this is a pretty tight battle to get onto that podium.
McGovern, 200 kilos, a 10 kilo jump. Ooh, bar just rolled forward there, I think. Hip shot back.
10 kilo jump onto her personal best. She will have an opportunity again. Maybe a technical breakdown, and she can still save herself with a third opportunity.
Ellen Gronlund for Finland, 200 kilos, a 12.5 kilo jump, 5 kilos off her personal best. The opener was extremely smooth.
Nice second attempt.
3 white lights, a good lift. Chisholm Eze for Canada, taking a 10 kilo jump to 200, which is her match personal best. The 190 was very quick.
Handles the 10 kilo jump well.
Yeah, it looks really good. Started to get a little bit scrappy there. I think just got knocked around a little bit by the bar, but the strength is undeniable.
What do you think for a third attempt?
I think a 5 kilo jump seems sensible to me. I think a safe middle ground.
I'd co-sign that 5 kilos.
Tessa Ophoff, 202.5, a 7.5 kilo jump. She got that depth call in her opener, and the jury did discuss it. It wasn't a unanimous decision, so it stayed, but she's definitely going to want to keep her eye on that. Strength undeniable. And so is depth this time.
3 white lights.
Dina Sirek for Poland, 205 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump, giving herself a lot more time this time round to get that command. Got it 5 seconds to go on her opener. Looks strong.
Yeah, and there you go. I was going to say, with that squat style, I know we've already made that point, but difficult to call depth. I'm not surprised. It's a split decision.
And the jury has overruled it this time round. Again, it's very hard to tell from that position.
It almost looks parallel right there. You kind of need to be on the platform and lean in, which I'm sure the refs are.
Betty Hanlon taking a 10 kilo jump to 205 for her second attempt, just shy of her personal best of 207.5. That fight for podium in the 76 is really so stacked today. Lovely indeed. Smooth looking second for Hadlin. And undeniable 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded.
Susanna Mazur from Poland taking a 15 kilo jump here to 210, just half a kilo below her junior world record.
And this is where things are getting interesting. Usually on their best day, she leaves with 210, taking it for a second. Cranin dropping what we've seen at her nationals, 232, and instead on her second attempt taking 230. So if Cranin's coming slightly down, Mazur taking big chances. This is where that gap can be mitigated.
I mean, it is
wow.
excellent. I was going to say, it doesn't seem like a chance to me or a risk. It looks planned. She is so strong coming into this.
And we might just have a battle after all.
Yeah, I mean, on projected totals, should they both make their second, we see Mazur already has only 10 kilos separating them moving forwards, and jumps are going to matter now. Germany's Mara Hames, 215 kilos. 12.5 kilo jump. Currently nominated in bronze overall, but a very highly sought after position today.
Nice, solid second attempt.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Mara also, last time we seen her, ended with 215.5, now taking 215 for a second attempt, and it looks like these ladies are stronger on the day and going to be making some movements here.
They're going to have to, with such a stacked class. Crane and Warford taking a 12.5 kilo jump to 230, 10 kilos below her best, but only 1.5 kilos below the world record squat. That opener looked strong, she looked healthy, and probably a little bit more aware now that Susanna Mazur is creeping up behind her. Let's see how this moves and the jump that she can make and pick up that chip.
Very smooth second attempt for Cranin.
Yeah, it looks strong. 3 white lights, and she looks just around the strength you'd want to see her should she have never had that adductor issue at all.
Yeah, the opener was a test, but that second attempt really was a confidence builder. Is she all the way back? It's different when you hit it on the platform. And the way that moved, she should be very comfortable to take a bigger jump to her third.
And we head into that third and final round, and the crowd rallies behind Kezia Hunt, who is without a squat on the board, keeps the number the same, 185, after moving it up on her second. Got called for depth on both her opener and her second. Jury have been very active with Hunt. Let's see if she can sink this a little bit further and convince those referees. It looks better to me.
Much better. Much, much better. No major celebration. I think I would be my first world championships. Look, that depth was undeniable on the third.
Nino Trixavilli taking a further 5 kilo jump here to 190. This is going to be a bit of a grind, if I'm guessing. The 185 already a little bit tough, but perhaps has a big grind in her today. An extra 5 kilos, just too much in the day. And it's the risk you run if you choose the technique of opening a little bit more top end. You've got to hit that top end 3 times in that case, and don't always have the energy in store to do so.
You're not trying to make statements with your openers. It's your third attempt that people really care about.
Clara Pelo, 197.5, looking to match her personal best here and pick up a couple extra kilos. A little more safe than taking that bigger jump in that fight for podium.
After the 195, I was hoping they'd move up just 2.5 kilos. They have.
Yeah.
Prudent choice.
Although Clara does have a big grind in her, she doesn't want to empty the tanks this early on either.
Looked very similar to a second. As long as that passes for depth, 3 white lights, it does. Yeah, looked even better for depth on the side angle.
Hemoglobin net from New Zealand, retaking 200 kilos, just bar seemed to roll up her back. Hip shot up on her second. Let's see if it's something she can correct here. Looks like she can. Great comeback there from Hema. Gets that 200 kilos. Christina Surek from Poland, looking to retake the 205, got overturned by the jury to a no lift for depth. Has that very wide stance.
We've seen Hema come back from a missed lift and hit. Can Justina do the same? I'm not sure they're going to be convinced. Going to be honest, it looked a little high. Jury not convinced as well.
$205 kilos in the bar for Ellen Gronland, a 5 kilo jump to match her personal best. right.
Talk about perfect attempt selection, getting everything out of your lifter.
Phenomenal effort there. Such brilliant execution to stay with that bar.
The bar is loaded.
Chisholm Eze for Canada, 207.5.
Now this is a decent 7.5 kilo jump. And a 7.5 kilo personal best if she can hit it. Depth is undeniable. Whoa, little rocky, but locks it out. 2-1, it's good.
Yeah, gets that up with brute strength and gets a blue from the center referee. I imagine perhaps for downwards movement. It shook around a lot, but I don't think I saw the bar dip.
I think her chest bowed slightly, but no down up, I believe. The jury reviewing this.
207.5 kilos in the bar for Tessa Ophoff. 5 kilo jump. Got called for depth on her opener, got it. Lost that depth called on her second. Highlighted, good lift. And now the fight for squat medals begins. Out first we have Betty Hanlon from Great Britain, 212.5, a 7.5 kilo jump from her second. Be a personal best for Betty should she hit this and move her into squat bronze for the time being, with Missouri to follow.
And bigger picture, she's going to need these kilos if she wants to end up on that podium.
That's a great third from Hanlon. And 3 white lights, a good lift, picks up those kilos as well as potentially a squat medal along the way. And now Zuzanna Mazur from Poland. Not that I think it's even on her mind, but picks up a junior world record in the squat should she take this. 217.5. The 210 was still extremely comfortable and looking to push Team USA and Crane and Wolford as much as they can. Extremely talented young athlete.
And this is how you surprise people when you leave the squat event 7 kilos up from when you previously have done. Depth looks good. Oh, wow.
Excellent find, number 10. 3 white lights, a new junior world record, and moves herself into squat silver for the time being, but also begins to try and close that gap between second and first.
The teenage sensation, if she is feeling the pressure, she's not showing it. Huge squat event for her.
Mara Hamez, 222.5 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump. Picks up those crucial extra kilos in that fight for podium, as well as silver squat medal along the way should she make this. Already bronze secured. I believe this will also be a European squat record. looks good.
Another huge lift, another personal best.
USA a world squat record of 238 onto that.
And our final squat attempt, of course, is for USA's Karina Warford. An 8-kilo jump here, 238 on the bar, below what she's done before, but not internationally, for a world open squat record. And I'm sure as she walks into the platform, she tells herself, or she does every single time, it's just the bar.
Just for a little context of her progress, last year's Worlds, she left with 222.5. This year's Worlds, attempting to leave with 238 in the world record. Year over year, her progress has been staggering.
And that chip will certainly come in helpful should the young rising star Mazur continue to push her throughout the day. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, convincing. 3 white lights.
A new world record for Cranon Warford, and she is feeling strong today.
Made eye contact. She was pointing over. She wanted to send a message. I am 100%, and when Cranon Warford is 100%, that is trouble for the 76-kilo division. I don't care who you are.
And leaving the squat event already, so close, so exciting. Mazur with squat bronze with 217.5, James in silver 222.5, and leading the pack overall and in squats with a new world record. Cranon Warford from the United States, 238 kilos. We're going to head into a 10-minute break now before bench press. We'll see you there. Welcome back to the 2026 IPF World Powerlifting Championships here in Druskininkai, Lithuania. We've just seen the squat session from the 76 kilo ladies. Crane and Warford walking away with a new world record of 2:38, and you can see the projected totals as they stand now. Susanna Mazur not a million miles behind Warford on projected, and a really tight cluster below there for those podium positions. It's going to be a tight race.
Looking at their bench openers, both opening at 120. Looking at their deadlift openers, Zuzana opening with 235, 10 kilos ahead of Cranen. Might she close that gap by the time we get to the end of this race? Very interesting.
70 kilos loaded on the bar for Katia Kurtsilava from Georgia. Three white lights, you could lift.
The bar is loaded, followed by Sheen and Margoni.
Selena Wells representing Thailand, opening on 70 kilos. 7.5 kilos off her personal best. Very comfortable looking opener for Wells.
The bar is loaded.
Daisy from Singapore, opening with 70 kilos. 5 kilos below her best. Nice clean opener for Z. 3 white lights. Bench, as it is the more technical of the 3 lifts, has the most commands and the most potential infractions. You want to make your opening attempt comfortable enough that should you need to take it 3 times, which you've seen athletes have to do before, that you're able to do so and adjust. Here, Marangoni from South Africa, 72.5. And that is a good lift for Marangoni.
The bar is loaded.
Daniel Welbeck from South Africa, 77.5 kilos.
Waldeck, master lifter, competing in the open at the IPF World Championships. Previously hit 85.5. Nice, smooth, steady opener.
The bar is loaded.
Denisa Shvantanarova from Czechia, 85 kilos in the bar.
is loaded.
Comfortable enough looking opener there. Not where we want to see any sort of drama on the opening bench. Rafaelo Reis from Portugal, 90 kilos.
So many possible infractions with the bench press, 3 different commands. Definitely want to take conservative openers just in case you got to retake it and possibly even adjust the way you bench. But these ladies, more than ready.
3 white lights, good. 2.5 in the water. And that's for New Zealand. For the Athens and Freedom. The bar is loaded.
Chanel Swart from New Zealand, opening with 92.5 kilos, already above her best bench of 90. Three white lights, a good lift, a new personal best on that opening attempt.
The bar is loaded.
Mariska Martens from Belgium, opening with 102.5 kilos.
The bar is loaded.
Just came out a little early there, but the bar is loaded and she's good to go.
Ten kilos below her personal best, expecting this to move. Opener right on point.
Just get a depth call from that center referee. Have a look at that from that angle in the replay. Looking for those elbow joints to be in line with the middle of the shoulder joint.
The bar is loaded.
And that looks good enough to me.
Jury deliberating, but I think they're satisfied.
Gabby Muller from Belgium, 105 kilos. Three white lights, a good lift, comfortable opener there.
The bar is loaded.
Modesta Villas from Mexico, 110 kilos. Heaviest opener in this B group. That is a good lift. All 11 lifters in on the board with their opening attempt. Saw very few infractions. I think just one elbow depth call, which was passed.
Yeah, when it comes to the bench press, opening attempts, no news is good news.
Villas leads that pack. Muller, Martens from Belgium follow. Subject change, not just as we go through the second and third attempt, but as we have the A group to follow. Katja Kurtslava from Georgia, 75 kilos. A little bit sticky there in the middle portion, Ryan.
Middle ref calling for a down up.
Let's have a look at that again in the replay. Jury lean in. Definitely saw it stop in the middle.
I think just a stop. Jury happy to leave it there.
75 kilos for Selena Wells from Thailand. 5 kilo jump from her opener, just 2.5 below her personal best. Do I like a good lift, strong looking second attempt. Nice soft touch. When you do have a slightly softer touch, you're usually rewarded from the center ref by a slightly quicker press command. Toi Z from Singapore, 75 kilos, a match personal best with this second attempt, a 5 kilo jump from her opener. Pierre Mangoni from South Africa taking a 5 kilo jump to 77.5.
2.5 kilos below her personal best, and thus far in the 76 kilo class. Smooth sailing in the bench press.
Three white lights, a good lift.
The bar is loaded.
85 kilos for Danielle Waldeck. Half a kilo below her personal best, which I imagine is a South African national record. Probably looking to extend that there on her third if she's able. It's a good grind, a good lift, but perhaps more towards that top end there on that second.
Yeah, likely a conservative 2.5 kilo jump from there. Relatively close grip. And a couple of sticking points and slowing down, but able to lock it out.
Denisa Shvantanarova from Czechia, 90 kilos, a 5 kilo jump. Landing at a 2.5 below her personal best here. Another good lift there. Some well chosen second attempts. Certainly not the part of the competition where you're looking to take any risks. 95 kilos for Chanel Swart, opting for a 2.5 kilo jump after hitting a personal best in her opener.
Clinching the bar so hard she has white knuckles. Long way up, long way down. No question on that elbow depth. 3 white lights.
Rafaela Reis from Portugal, 95 kilos, 5-kilo jump for a match personal best. Two to one, a good lift, which is a death call from the center referee. So we'll have a look at that again in the replay. Jury lean in to watch.
Jury is satisfied enough.
Mariska Martens from Belgium, 107.5, a 5-kilo jump, and did get called for elbow depth on her opening attempt, but jury were happy enough with it. But the referees certainly are aware now. Keep an eye out for it.
5-kilo jump, 5 kilos below her personal best. Little bit of work there.
Yeah.
Another depth call.
We'll have a look at that again in the replay. Now this time the jury has overruled it to a no lift for Martens. Gabby Muller for Belgium. 110 kilos, 5-kilo jump for a match personal best. Elbow depth call from the side referee this time round as we watch in the replay. That left side getting the call this time round. Again, looks good enough to me there on the replay. Jury happy to let it stand. To move to our final second attempt. Modesta Varias, 115 kilos. 5-kilo jump, 5.5 kilos of her personal best.
Had a somewhat scrappy squat session. Needing a little bit of work on that second attempt. But if you remember in the squats, second attempt squat looked like work. Next jumped up, handled it surprisingly smoothly.
And immediately out to the third and final round of bench. Kutzlava already on the platform, ready for her final attempt, 77.5. Tough, but you expect a third attempt to be, and unfortunately this time round yellows from the side referees. If we see that side angle, we might see the glutes lifting off of the bench. Just a lot of leg drive. Yeah, you see it lift there as she pushes through those legs. Taizi from Singapore, 77.5 kilos. This will be a 2.5 kilo personal best after hitting a PB on her second attempt. Nice quick press command there for Z. And a good lift, 3 white lights.
Loaded.
80 kilos on the bar for Selena Wells, a 5-kilo jump from her second. This will be for a 2.5 kilo personal best.
Gonna go 3 for 3 in the bench press event.
Very well picked final attempt there. 3 white lights, a good lift, and a new personal best for Wales.
South Africa. The bar is loaded. Both ends and never to follow. 5 attempts to change openers for the Eagles. 5 attempts to change openers.
Pierre Marangoni for South Africa, 80 kilos, 2.5 kilo jump for a match personal best. And it is a good lift, 3 white lights. Excellent third attempt there for Marangoni.
The bar is loaded.
87.5 kilos for Danielle Waldeck from South Africa. 2.5 kilo jump to hit a personal best of 2 kilos, and I imagine extend the South African record to take home with her. That's a good lift. Takes home a national record with her.
The bar is loaded.
Denisa Shvantanarova from Czechia. 95 kilos. 5 kilo jump for 2.5 kilo personal best.
Huge range of motion on this final press, 95 kilos. Takes it to the top floor for 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded. Strikes and matches the ball.
Chanel Swart from New Zealand, 97.5 kilos, 2.5 kilo jump for a personal best.
Ooh, a little pause there and unable to break through that sticking point.
Yeah, got a bit of a longer press command there. Can make it a little tougher to get the bar moving again.
The bar is loaded. Last attempt to change openers. Last attempt to change openers for the Eagles.
I see Sonita Mulu in the crowd enjoying the show, the world record holder in the 84 plus division.
Rafaela Reis from Portugal, 97.5 kilos, 2.5 kilo jump for a new personal best. And a very well executed final attempt, a good lift.
The bar is loaded. No more changes to the openers.
Looking to retake 107.5, got overturned by the jury for elbow depth. Mariska Martins from Belgium. Ideally convinces the referee so it stays out of the hands of the jury.
lights, and it will stay out of the hands of the jury.
The bar is loaded.
112.5 kilos for Gabby Muller from Belgium. 2.5 kilo jump for a new personal best. Three white lights, a good lift. Some excellent third attempts here from the 76 B group.
The bar is loaded.
Our final bench in this B group, we have 120 kilos loaded on the bar for Modesta Varillas from Mexico. 5 kilos below her best.
0.5 kilos, yep. 5 kilo jump from the second attempt.
Unfortunately not there today. Still walks away leading the B group with 115 on her second.
The bar is loaded.
And we move straight through to the A group now. A wide spread of bench openers, big heavy hitters in the bench in this flight, so they will look to take all of those bench medals with their opening attempts. You know, Krishvili from Georgia, 90 kilos in the bar.
Three white lights, and she's on the board for the bench press. Kicks off the A flight.
The bar is loaded.
Chisholm Eze from Canada, 97.5 kilos for her opening bench. Like I said before, a huge puller. And that is a good lift, 3 white lights, nice comfortable opener.
The bar is loaded.
Tessa Ophoff from the Netherlands, 102.5 kilos. Three white lights, a good lift.
The bar is loaded.
Justina Starek from Poland, 105 kilos. Just 2.5 kilos below her personal best. All bar New Zealand's Hema Govind keeping their openers the same. Hema slightly raising hers. And that is a good lift, 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded.
Hemoglobin from New Zealand, 105 kilos, 7.5 below her personal best, as I mentioned just before, upped her opening attempt slightly.
Another nice, snappy opening bench. And these ladies have been on point in the bench press event for the 76 kilo class.
Ellen Gronlund from Finland, opening with 110 kilos, just 5 kilos below her personal best. And 2-1, a good lift. Does get a death call from that center referee, so we'll have a look at that in the replay. Has a high rib position, so sometimes can suffer those high elbows, but looks pretty good to me there. Jury are debating it. Kezia Hunt, 112.5 kilos, had a rocky start to the day, just getting her third squat in. Got called on depth, not a strength issue by any means. 5 kilos below her best here. Three white lights, a good lift and a much smoother start here to bench press.
The bar is loaded.
Crane and Warford for the United States coming out for 120 kilos as a best bench of 127.5. So pretty close to that already here on her opening attempt.
Yeah, Cranen at American Nationals actually opened bench with 112.5. Previous to that, last year's Worlds opened with 115. 120 is a big opening bench for her. But made it look like an appropriate opener.
Very comfortable, 3 white lights, good lift.
And that bench press has improved leaps and bounds.
Yeah, very clean. Mara Hammers, Germany, 120.
The bar is loaded. Azul and the performer.
Clara Pelau, 120 kilos for her opening bench.
Clara's hit as heavy as 130 kilos.
white lights, a good lift, very comfortable opener for Pero.
Azul, Poland for Thailand in 3. The bar is loaded.
Now the only person that could potentially look to threaten Wolford today, 20-year-old rising star Susanna Mazur, opening 120 kilos, very close to the most we've seen her lift before at 125.
Yeah, very interesting. The last time, the heaviest we've ever seen her open is 115, and she missed it and had to take it twice. Heaviest successful opener is 110, and look how she makes 120 look. So the improvement on this 19-year-old sensation is startling. Is it enough to close the gap? Very interesting. They're going toe-to-toe in the bench press, both opening with the same weight.
Like we said, the only person to be able to put that pressure on Team USA, and with an opener like that, pressure is on well and truly. Our final bench opener, Betty Hanlon from Great Britain, 125 on the bar. Again, very close to her best bench of 130. Three white lights, a good lift, and brings herself into the lead on bench press. Picks up those crucial extra kilos in that fight for podium. How far can she push that? And that concludes our opening attempts, with all lifters on the board with their openers can now look to pick up those crucial kilos in this tight battle in the 76s. Hanlon leads ahead of Mazur and James. Trixvilli from Georgia, 95 kilos.
You could see Susanna and Cranen both opening up with 120, both attempting 127.5 for their second attempts. Susanna keeping pace with the American. Fell behind in the squat event by 20 kilos. She will have to cover that gap if she's going to try to wrestle that gold medal off the American, and that's going to be very difficult in the deadlift event. However, things can go sideways, storylines change, and there's a lot of lifting left to go.
Chisholm Eze from Canada, 102.5 kilos. Already this would be a personal best of 2.5 kilos for Eze.
And look at the range of motion, no question on the depth there. Those are deadlift arms.
Yeah, as I keep saying, keep an eye out. She will have the final say when it comes to deadlift for pulling for that podium.
The bar is loaded.
Tessa Ophoff, 107.5 on the bar. 5 kilo jump to match her personal best. Three white lights, a good lift.
The bar is loaded.
Justyna Szarek from Poland, 110 kilos, a 5 kilo jump here. Already looking for a 2.5 kilo personal best. Very wide stance on bench as well as her squat.
Second is a little bit of work, comes up uneven, but comes up nevertheless and collects 3 white lights.
I can only imagine she's going to be a sumo puller.
The irony if she's not.
Barely touches the chest before she gets that command. Hemoglobin 110 kilos, just 2.5 shy on her personal best of 112.5.
Yeah, that's a nice second attempt. Easily handles that 5-kilo jump.
The bar is loaded.
115 kilos for Ellen Gronlund from Finland. Must be a match personal best. Shooter 1, a good lift. Just again, an elbow depth pull there from center free. Have a look at that again in the replay.
The bar is loaded.
Unfortunately, the jury has overruled that to a no lift for Gronlund. Kezia Hunt, Trinidad and Tobago, 120 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump. Already this would be a 2.5 kilo personal best.
Kezia had a bit of a scare in the squat event, missing her first 2 attempts, nailing her third. Much easier time in the bench press, going 2 for 2. As they deliberate, I'm expecting maybe 2.5 kilos. What do you think, Amelia?
Yeah, I think that'd be the safe bet. Already hit the personal best there. Just look to collect any more kilos you can now. Mara Hames from Germany, 125 kilos, very match personal best. On projected, still sitting on third with a 10 kilo spread ahead of Betty Hanlon. Strength looks good, and 3 white lights, a good lift. So with a 10 kilo lead, you know, that could be one miss and she's within reaching distance a little more easily, so has to choose a sensible third attempt there. Karina Morford for the United States, 127.5 kilos. This matches her current personal best that we've seen on the platform, but have seen her hit higher than this in training. Let's see if she can bring it to the platform today, where it really counts.
Yeah, last 3 performances, this is the weight she loaded up on her third bench press. But the way 120 moved, her bench has progressed. Oh, no question, elbow depth. And look how smooth that second attempt was.
Yeah, really good second attempt. You've got to think they'll add 5 kilos to that.
I'm thinking 5 kilos for Cranen, and Zuzana and the Poles are the one that need to take a couple chances, maybe reach a little bit if they're going to threaten Cranen. They are 20 kilos back from squat. It's less they'll have to deadlift if that's their ambition for the gold.
Clara Pirot from France, 127.5. 7.5 kilo jump here to match Clara's platform best.
Nice second attempt.
The bar is loaded. And the ball.
Zuzanna Mazur for Poland, 127.5. 120 kilos was extremely easy. We've seen her hit 125 on the platform before.
How difficult is it to scout for a young lady like this when 127.5 is a second attempt and coming into this 125 was her PR?
Yeah, because the bar continues to move for her. Like you said, she's so young, the progression is so high, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her look to match Preenan's jump of 5 kilos there.
I think Zuzanna probably, yeah, another 5 kilos. If you're doing a side-by-side comparison, they are neck and neck with the pace on the bench press.
Bettina Hanlon, Great Britain, taking a 5 kilo jump to 130 for her final attempt. Second attempt, sorry. The final second attempt. Moves her back into bench press gold for the time being as we head into the third and final round. If this is successful, gets a yellow from the side referee. If we have a look at that again in the replay, yellow could be a number of infractions on bench. So
It's interesting, she had a pause on the way down. Usually you see that on the way up. Is her butt rising though? Looked like it might have been.
yeah, and the jury has unfortunately overruled that to a no lift for Hanlon for that rising.
Yeah, I mean, look a lot more clear from that side.
And if she wants to press Hummers for a podium finish and more names than just that, she's going to need to get that and some kilos on her third and heading into deadlift. 100 kilos in the bar for her final attempt. Opting for a 5 kilo jump here. Very strong fight there.
Tough. Final attempt there.
Chisholm is from Canada, 105 kilos, a 2.5 kilo jump to further that personal best.
I think this is the right call.
I think so, especially if she has a chance of pulling last and pulling into position. Just pick up as many kilos as you can here on bench. It's already a personal best.
She's got a sizable deadlift. Wow. Geez, 2020 hindsight. Maybe she did have another 2.5 kilos, but easy to call after she makes that kind of a final bench.
Yeah, I think still, even seeing that 2.5 kilos was a good call, leaving some energy in the tank for that big deadlift that she does have.
Yeah. You can grind out for another 2.5 kilos, but you don't want to expend too much energy, and you do tighten the lower back.
Justyna Szarek from Poland, 112.5 kilos. Another 2.5 kilo jump here. Unfortunately, not there today. Tessa Ophoff from the Netherlands, 112.5 kilos, a 5 kilo jump and a further 5 kilo personal best should she make it.
Nice catch by the spotters.
5 kilos, of course, easy to say in hindsight. I think just a little over-ambitious for a final jump.
The bar is loaded.
Kima for New Zealand coming out for 115 kilos. This be for a personal best of 2.5.
3 white lights, a good lift.
3 white lights, a good lift. New personal best there.
The bar is loaded. Hunt and Alice the fall.
Really well executed third. Sticks with it excellently. Now Ellen Gronlund from Finland, retaking 115 kilos, got overruled by the jury to a no lift on her second for elbow depth. She got the same calls both times. Jury let it stand for her opener. Thought it was a little less convincing on her second. So let's see if she can retake 115 and get it here with a bit more convincing in her depth.
She has taken 115 before back home in Finland. That looks better to me. Easily manages the weight. Depth looked better from that angle. 2 side refs agree. Let's see if the jury does.
The bar is loaded.
Looks okay from my view.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Ryan. Looks absolutely fine to me. Kezia Hunt, 125 kilos, 5 kilo jump. This will be a 5 kilo personal best further for Kezia.
It's coming back down.
The bar is loaded. This is a provisional bench goal, but not a guaranteed podium. Audience.
Mara Hames from Germany, 130 kilos. This will be a 5 kilo personal best, and she's going to want those kilos to try and grab a podium spot overall.
Definitely in the running for a podium finish.
Huge fight, but it's just a little too much in the day.
Barbara in Team Germany missing that bench. And while they look like they're pacing as one of the favorites for a bronze medal, opportunity has opened up for the other contenders.
130 kilos for Bettina Hanlon from Great Britain, looking to retake it. The jury overruled it to a no lift on an account of her glutes lifting off the bench on her second. This would take her into bench press gold for the time being, but most importantly, pick up those extra 5 kilos in that fight for podium, particularly with Hames missing that final bench. Looked better from this angle, but always hard to tell.
3 white lights, and that was a crucial bench press for her. If she had missed, her chances of getting on that podium would have greatly diminished. Needed those 5 kilos for the bigger picture, and to your point, overall, placings in the bench press.
Crane and Warford taking that 5 kilo jump we thought we would see her take to 132.5 here to be a platform best for Warford. Looking to keep Mazur at bay.
This would, if temporarily, move her into first place for the bench press event. Already a world record in the squat, obviously a gold. Potentially collecting another gold. Oh, wow. Nicely done.
And that is a good lift. Collects those extra 5 kilos, trying to convince Mazur to protect the silver instead of pushing for the gold. But with deadlift to come, both big pullers will have to see what that fight looks like.
Yeah, they still have the deadlift event. The evidence is certainly beginning to mount.
Clara Perrault from France, 132.5. This would take her into bench press gold ahead of Warford on body weight. And again, crucial extra kilos if she wants to push for a podium spot.
And we do have a bit of a traffic jam forming heading into that podium. Mara missed. Can Clara hit? Oh, stubborn right elbow, but she does lock it out.
I'm a little worried. I saw a dip there. 2-1, a good lift. The jury.
She is so happy, and hats off to her for the fight anyways, regardless what the jury says.
Yeah.
Look how, and she wanted this. She knows what's at stake. You know what?
Yeah, and the jury's overruled that to a no lift for Pedro. A downwards movement. Our final bench press attempt, Zuzanna Mazur from Poland, a pivotal one for her heading into deadlift. 5 kilos on her bench, 5 kilos closer to Warford, further from those fighting for bronze. It would also move her from bronze in bench to gold. Same jump Creenan made here.
Wow, and that was a smooth, easy third attempt. And this young lady's progress, regardless of the outcome, everybody's going to be talking about this performance. 6 for 6 so far.
Yeah, and without seeing any real big fight from her yet, an absolute rising star, making her name. In bench press bronze, Betty Hanlon with 130 kilos. In bench press silver with 132.5, Crane Warford. And with the same weight on the bar at a slightly lighter body weight, which is important to note as well, heading into deadlifts, Poland's Zuzanna Mazur. It is going to be a tight battle there at the end. Zuzanna would have to out deadlift Warford by 20 kilos. Warford has the chip.
That's quite the ask, if we're honest. However, very interesting just how much Zuzanna has progressed since last time we've seen her, and I'm very much intrigued where she's going to end up with that total.
Yeah, we can see the projected totals with those opening deadlifts in. Looks slightly less of 10.5 kilos, but we'll have to see how that pans out with the traffic jam below for podium. And we will not have to wait too long to find out. We will join you in just under 10 minutes time to see the conclusion of the 76 kilo class. And welcome back to the 2026 IPF World Powerlifting Championships here in Druskininkai, Lithuania. I am Amelia Potter, rejoined by Ryan Lapita. And Ryan, let's have a look at these projected totals. Separated by 10.5 kilos, Warford and Mazur. Warford with the lead. As we said, heading out of bench, Mazur would have to out deadlift Karina by 20 kilos, only 10.5 separating them. Currently that chip with Warford, and below an Onslaught to get onto the podium.
It's got to be said, this 19-year-old sensation from Poland keeping Kranin honest, and that's a lot considering she came in here with the unofficial world record total from U.S. Nationals. It's been exciting. Let's see where this goes.
And we head into the B-flight deadlift openers here. Kicking us off, we can see that 157.5. We have Pia Marangoni from South Africa looking to secure her total.
The bar is loaded.
Three white lights secures her total, 157.5 on the board. Katya Kurtsilava representing Georgia. With personal best of 180, opening here with 170, opting for a beltless deadlift. Oh, a little bit of trouble at the top there. Let's hope there was no downwards movement. 2-1, the center referee seems to think there was. And the jury has overruled that, unfortunately, for Kurtsilava, doing no lift. Hopefully doesn't look to take any risks on that second. Keeps it the same, as a little bit sticky towards lockout. As 170 remains on the bar for Danielle Waldeck of South Africa.
Danielle previously hit 187 prior to this. Master lifter competing in the World Championship.
Denisa Schwanznerova from Czechia, 175 kilos.
The bar is loaded.
Three white lights in good lift, secures the total. Mariska Martens from Belgium. Personal best of 205, conservative open of 175 here. Yeah, and it looks conservative.
Nice, smooth, easy opening pull. Just wants to get herself onto the board. She can take big jumps after that.
.175 kilos, Tui Z from Singapore. Just 5 kilos onto her personal best deadlift and 10 off her best total. Three wide lights, a good lift. Modesta Varias from Mexico. 175 kilos.
Modesta comes into the competition 187.5 her PR pull.
Comes out a little late there, but she's ready to go.
Nails are opening.
The bar is loaded.
$177.5 kilos for Gabby Muller with a best of 190.
Locks in her total.
Selena Wells from Thailand. Looking to open at 182.5, 10 kilos below her best deadlift, and already with this, 5 kilos off her best total.
Hits 182.5. Locking in her total with 435.
Rafaela Reis from Portugal, 190 kilos. Three wide lights, a good lift.
The bar is loaded.
Chanel Swart from New Zealand, 210 kilos. Strong looking opener and the heaviest opening attempt of the G group. And with that, Allbar Kurtzalava on the board with an opening attempt and a secure total. Kurtzalava just had some struggle at her lockout, called for downwards movement. Let's hope she can get it there in a second as we move through to the second attempt. Swart leading the pack, subject to change through second and third attempts, and of course the A group to follow with some monster pullers. Pia Marangoni, 167.5 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from her opener.
Still keeping it 5 kilos below her personal best. 48 years old, competing in the open.
And collects 10 extra kilos there. A good lift.
The bar is loaded.
Katya Katsalava from Georgia, 170, looking to get on the board this time round.
You know, not expecting opening weight to be that sticky.
She still gets that blue hook overturned by the jury the first time round, Ryan. So let's look at that in the replay.
Doesn't look like we'll have a replay.
No, but I did see over the jury's shoulders, then watch the replay, and they're happy to keep it. So she managed to get on the board and secures her total. Danielle Waldeck, 180 kilos. Quite like a good lift. I think perhaps getting closer to top end weight there on a second.
Yeah, probably no more than 5 kilos for her third and final pull.
Modesta Varillas from Mexico, 185 kilos, a 10 kilo jump. Three white lights, a good lift. Denisa Shvansnarova from Czechia, taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 187.5. Great match, personal best. Three white lights, a good lift. Seems pretty happy with that, how well that moved. Swayze from Singapore, 187.5. 7.5 kilo deadlift, personal best, should she make this, and 2.5 on total.
And that was a difficult second attempt, gotta be said. 7.5 kilo personal best. Maybe another 2.5 kilos there. Take a look at this, Amelia. What would you load up for the final? Another 2.5 or 5?
Depends what they want out of the day. I think 2.5, of course, the safer option if they're looking for a big personal best. 5, but she already hit a PB with that, so I'll say cap the day off strong. 3 for 3. 190 kilos for Gabby Muller from Belgium. This will be a match deadlift PB and a 10 kilo total PB. Strong second pull there for Muller. Hits that total personal best. And talking of total personal best, 10 kilo jump here for Selena Wells from Thailand, 192.5 for a match deadlift personal best and 5 kilo PB on total.
With another round of deadlifts still to go.
Strong second pull for Wells. Three white lights, a good lift, and like you said, still with a third pull. Perhaps another 5 or so kilos more on that. Unless they're going for that 200 kilo milestone. Mariska Martens, 197.5, a big 22.5 kilo jump here for the Belgian lifter. Wow, it makes pretty easy work for a big jump. The opener was conservative, and that'll be why she likes to make those slightly bigger jumps, only reach her top end the minimal amount of time that she can.
Reese hitting that 205, just 5 kilos below her personal best. Moving her total to 492.5 for Team Portugal.
And looking to close out the round on second attempt, Chanel Swart from New Zealand, 220 kilos on the bar. This would give her a total of 505, 2 above her current best. And that is 3 white lights, a good lift. And a quick look at the results of deadlifts as we head into the third and final round for the B group lifters. Pia Marangoni from South Africa, 10 kilo further jump to 177.5.
Give her a 2.5 kilo personal best.
Not quite there on the day for Pia. Katya Katsalava from Georgia, 170 for her opener. Got overruled by the jury, got it on her second, still got a blue. Let's see how 182.5 moves here. Yeah, and based on that second, 12.5 kilos was a pretty aggressive jump.
That's a fair statement.
Perhaps looking to make up ground, but just not written in the stars today. Katsalava. Danielle Waldeck from South Africa, 185, 5 kilo jump. Second, looked near top end. 5 kilos would have been the absolute max I would have put on that second, 2.5 even to be a little safer. Let's see if she can kick into an extra gear here.
Wow, definitely had a lot more intensity this time. Can she get her shoulders back and lock it out? Hats off to her.
Wow, and talk about emptying the tank.
Lets out a war cry once it passes her knees.
The bar is loaded.
187.5 for Modesta Varillas from Mexico, opting for the smaller increment of 2.5 kilos, trying to match her personal best on the international platform.
So we'll move her total from 505 to 507.5.
So everything she could have, the 185. Just an extra push to try and get those extra couple of kilos, but walks away with 505. Denisa Švancenerova for Czechia, 195, loaded onto the bar. Big grind at the end there. Hits 7.5 kilo personal best on deadlift in total. Strong way to finish the day there.
The bar is loaded.
195 kilos for Belgium's Gabby Muller. 5 kilo personal best on deadlift and further on total here, should she make this. Strong finish from Muller.
Moving her total from 480 to 485, a personal best for her.
The bar is loaded.
195 kilos for Toi Zi from Singapore. Should further extend her deadlift and total personal best by 7.5 kilos. Wow, did so well to stay with that. Right off the floor, didn't look like it was going to stick with it. 2-1, a good lift, a blue from the center referee. Let's have a look at that again. I think blue was perhaps for supporting. Jury happy enough with it to stand, and well earned. 200 kilos in the bar for Selena Welsh from Thailand. This will be a big finish. Huge deadlift and total personal best should she make this on the platform.
.200 kilos will move her total from 445, which is matching your personal best, 452.5, and wool. Pretty quick at the top. Do they like her knees? They do. 3 white lights.
Mariska Martins, 207.5 kilos, a 10 kilo jump to match her best total and give her a 2.5 kilo personal best on deadlift. Made a big jump from first to second, 10 kilos from second to third.
Whoa, talk about a slow lockout, but she does get it to the top where her shoulders back, no.
Rafaela Reese, 212.5 kilos for her final attempt. 7.5 kilo jump.
Nice final pull for Reese. 500 kilos even to finish her day.
Chanel Swart, 225 kilos, our final lifter in the B group. Big finishing deadlift for Swart to make this. Clean end to the day for Swart, 3 white lights and a new total PB. And that concludes the B group 76s. Swart leading the pack with 225. Reese and Wells just below, subject to change as we head into the A group now, where the fight for podium and overall will begin. We can see here the opening pulls. Some movement here. Ophoff, Perot and Eze moving up their deadlift openers. But Warford and Mazur stay the same, which means the battle we expected is the battle that we get. Justyna Szarek now, Poland, 190 kilos. White lights, a good lift. Hema Govind, 190 kilos.
Hema handles 190, starting off with a 505 total.
Opening deadlifts, not hoping for any drama here, looking to secure the totals and let the fight commence in the second round. Ellen Gronlund from Finland. 195 for her opening attempt.
Makes easy work of that, as you might expect.
Three white lights, a good lift. That's up off 212.5 kilos. Upped her opening attempt slightly. Originally had her opening attempt in at 207.5. 3 white lights, a good lift, and moved as you'd want an opener to.
The bar is loaded.
Bettina Hanlon from Great Britain, 215 on the bar to secure her total and begin the fight for podium. Still well within reach, 10 kilos behind James.
Yeah, she's pacing for a big day. Already this will put her at 557.5. PR coming in was 565, expecting her to go way beyond that.
Plenty left in the tank there. Very easy opener for Hanlon. And woman to chase herself, Mara Hammers from Germany, clinching on to bronze overall for the time being. 220 for her opening attempt. Pretty close to her top end that we've seen.
Yeah, she has pulled 230. Once she hits this 220, her total will be at 567 and a half.
And a very comfortable opener, particularly if her known top end to us is only 10 kilos above that.
The bar is loaded. Warford is the whole performance.
Kezia Hunt, Trinidad and Tobago here, 220 kilos for her opening attempt.
Nice, easy work. Solidifies her total at 525.
The bar is loaded.
Heavy favorite for the crown, and with the lead heading into deadlifts, Karina Morford in the United States, 225 kilos on the bar as a best deadlift of 261.5, just half a kilo below the world record.
And that's why she's so difficult to beat. When she's walking into the deadlift event, 20 kilos up, and she is that close to the world record deadlift, she's really got the odds in her favor.
And easily gives herself a 595.5 total with 2 attempts in the pocket. And you can see why her motto is, because she truly did make it look like just the bar. Clara Perrault from France, up to opening attempt 5 kilos, looking to push a podium position still here. 225 on the bar. Clara very rarely misses.
This is the heaviest we've seen Clara open with. But Clara facing tough opposition if she's going to leave with a medal.
And it looks very comfortable for her. One of the very few lifters I've seen with a long sumo grind.
The bar is loaded.
Former European champ, former world's medalist back in 2023 in the Open as a junior.
Nino Trixvili from Georgia, 225 for her opening attempt. Pretty popular opening attempt in this fight. Just goes to show the strength in the 76s for multiple lifters to be opening 225 and up. We saw only one lifter below 200 for their opener, and that was at 195. So all the second round will be at least 200 and up. Now this will be very telling. 235 on the bar for Poland, Susanna Mazur. And like you said, there's a bit of a gap to close here between herself and Warford, who we've seen deadlift practically the world record before.
Now Susanna has loaded up the world record herself. On that day, she opened with 230, opening heavier here, and maybe expecting to try to finish with a bigger final pull.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that smile at the top. She is confident, throws her hands up. Hey, when you're having a day, you're having a day. I don't know what to say. Where is she going to end up?
And the pressure that puts on Warford is you can't miss, because Mazur is hitting attempt after attempt. Our final opening attempt, and maybe they won't have the chance to push each other for that chip, because Chisholm Eze from Canada up to opening attempt at 250, just 12 kilos below the world record.
And this is a surprise coming into the event. 245 was her PR. She's opening with 250. How do you scout for that? Yeah, that's scary.
And I don't think that world record is safe at all.
No, that world record's in serious danger.
And perhaps she'd even look to load that up on her second, and that would be trouble for Warford and Mazur if they were looking to use that as an advantage.
No, it's going to spoil somebody's day. The plans are going to be remade.
We'll have to see what they load as we head now into the second round, and it looks like Eze and Team Canada have loaded their record on their second, making that job that much tougher for USA and Poland. Hemoglobin now from New Zealand, 197.5.
Makes 197.5 on her second attempt.
The bar is loaded.
Total now 512.5 for Hema.
Christina Sarek from Poland, 202.5. 12.5 kilos, and as we expected, that sumo stance. So she's a sumo squatter, sumo deadlifter, and a sumo bencher. Ooh, just seems to struggle with her grip there.
Unexpected. She has hit this weight before. She'll have one more take at it.
And then Bronlund, 210 kilos for her second attempt. 15 kilo jump. White lights, a good lift. $222.5 kilos on the bar for Tessa Ophoff from the Netherlands. A 10 kilo jump from her opener to match her personal best deadlift and extend her best total by 5 kilos.
Nice second attempt, moves her total 537.5, with an opportunity to extend further in the third round.
A 15 kilo jump for Betty Hanlon. 230 loaded on the bar. Already this would be a deadlift personal best and on total, and move her into the bronze medal position for the time being. Like we said, it is a traffic jam to get onto that podium, and it will jump around a lot, but for the time being, pulls Hanlon into that position with Eze and Hammers to answer.
Yeah, in the projected 7.5 kilos separates 3 women eyeing that bronze.
A little bit of turbulence, but it was quick and relatively smooth. She looks strong, 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded.
A 12.5 kilo jump from Mara Hammers from Germany, 232.5 to pull back ahead of Hanlon. And looking very strong, 3 white lights, pulls back into the bronze overall.
Already Mara has her total at 580, and this is going to be a big podium.
Nino Trixavilli from Georgia, 232.5. Very patient with that, and 2 to 1, it is a good lift. Have a look at that again in the replay. But Ryan, there are 8 women in this flight on their second attempts, 230 and up on their deadlifts.
Yeah, just looking at some of these lifters, Mara, after 2 rounds, is already 7.5 kilo personal best on her total, with another round of deadlifts to go. These ladies, you just throw their nominations right out the window.
Kezia Hunt, 235, a 15 kilo jump. And it is a good lift, 3 white lights and a big deadlifting household by the looks of it.
Kezia also already at a personal best total after only 2 rounds of deadlifts.
The bar is loaded.
240 kilos for Clara Perrault of France, a 15 kilo jump. And again, getting close to the top end that we've seen from Clara not so long ago.
This is the biggest second attempt we've ever seen Clara take a swing at. Perhaps feeling she needs to. There's a rising tide in the 76 kilo class. Wow.
Yeah, and as we said before, Clara really can kick into that 6th and 7th gear if she needs to on the deadlift. So for a second, pretty smooth actually for Pedro.
The bar is loaded. That's at 650.5
Cranen Warford of the United States. 245, taking a 20-kilo jump here.
This will move Cranen's total from 595.5 to 615.5.
The current world record total 628.5. Can she keep Mazur protecting the silver instead of pushing her for that world title? Let's see how well she makes this move.
Standard second attempt for Cranen, and makes it look like a standard second attempt.
And 3 white lights, a good lift, doing her best to keep Mazur at bay, who bit by bit is trying to close that gap, which she's looking to do so with a big jump on her second. This would be extremely telling, and we won't have to wait long to see. Susanna Mazur, 20 years old, 252.5 on the bar. This is a huge jump, 17.5 kilos. And this would be a world junior deadlift record.
Trying to put the pressure on Cranen. If Cranen had missed, this would have moved Mazur into first, if temporarily.
And if she makes this, only 13 kilos behind Cranen.
Yeah, you gotta think she's gonna load that up. Forcing Cranen to hit her third and final. At just 20 years old, to force Cranen.
And you've got to think they're going to put a placeholder in to make Warford go first and load whatever they need to push for that gold overall.
What an interesting proposition, where Cranen now back to a wall and potentially cannot miss.
And our final second attempt, as expected, Chisholm Eze from Canada already loading the world record on her second. And like we said, I'm sure that's pushed the hand slightly of Team USA and Poland to make a slightly larger jump maybe than they would have. Team Canada coming out strong. This puts Eze in a really strong position to potentially push for that bronze medal overall.
Yeah, this definitely throws a wrench into some plans here. Looking at the scoreboard, Susanna puts in 265.5, Cranen 265. Placeholders.
263 on the bar for Chisholm Eze of Canada for a new deadlift world record. On her second attempt.
What a surprising 76 kilo session we've had.
Wow, and you've got to think she's going to load up on that third to pull into podium position. 3 white lights, a good lift and a new world record for Chisholm Eze of Canada.
So Susanna, as expected in Team Poland, with that 265.5 will move their total to 615.5, which is where Cranen is right now, and Susanna being the lighter lifter.
Yeah, it is going to come down to these final pulls. Like you said, Mazur lighter than Cranen. However, Cranen currently has a chip already, both looking for the world record on their third. We're going to have to see how this pans out, and we're going to, as we head into the third round, my, indeed, Ryan.
Whoa.
Justina Sharek for Poland, 202.5, lost grip at the top, looking to retake this here on her third.
Oh, not for the day. Staple to the ground.
.205 kilos loaded on the bar for Heman Govind of New Zealand.
The bar is loaded.
7.5 kilo jump from her second for a 2.5 kilo total PB.
Nice final pull for Hema. 3 white lights. Good attempt selection by Team New Zealand. As we get closer and closer to some of these massive pulls and what appears to be a potential dramatic conclusion here. So far, Team USA has not blinked in this game of chicken, but they have 265 on there as a placeholder.
Ellen Gronlund, Finland, taking a 5 kilo jump to match her personal best deadlift and total, 215.
Nice final pull. Left hand looked like it was threatening to give, but she's able to hang on to it, getting that down command.
Tessa Ophoff looking for a 2.5 kilo jump here to 225 to further extend her best deadlift in total by that amount.
The bar is reloaded.
So move her total from 537.5 to 540.
Certainly looked like the perfect third attempt call. It is a good lift, 3 white light. Nino Trixavili from Georgia opting for a 5 kilo jump to 237.5. Their final attempt.
Two and a half kilos below her personal best. And we'll move her total to 522.5 from 11th into the top 10. Nope, too much on the day. And we'll keep you updated. Zuzana still has 265.5 for her final pull, which will move her total to 615.5.
And we have seen the attempt changes start to come in, and I'm wondering who that's for.
You got to think Crennin's going to lower her final pull.
Looks like currently it's James looking to protect the bronze at the top end she thinks she has on the day.
First, the battle for the bronze.
And Betty Hanlon seems to have dropped her final pull as well, trying to just chip ahead of James if she's to make the final pull. But I do agree with you, Ryan. You know, I think Warford is likely to wait until the last minute that she can, which would be still before Mazur, to drop to a number that would still push Susanna a little too far on that final pull.
Yeah.
Mara James from Germany, 240 kilos.
This will, if temporarily, have her in bronze 587.5.
If she misses this, Hanlon can then push ahead with that final deadlift, but this makes it a much tougher job for those vying for bronze.
As well as Team Canada, of course. It's a much needed final pull, but Mara answers the call. That's her part.
And not safe yet. Eze from Canada, lighter than James, so looking to match her, and obviously has the advantage of the chip as well.
Yeah, you got to think Team Canada, whenever they decide they're going to have that final pull, throws a chip in play.
And a temp change has come in. I imagine Betty Hanlon has pushed up now. And so that changes the order of pulls.
Yeah. Bettina, heavier than Chisholm, but they'll equal on total, so she'll have to change that one more time.
Well, it means that for the time being, she'll knock Hammers out of bronze overall as she's lighter than her.
Right, and that we're forcing Team Canada to hit.
Kezia Hunt, 2:45 for her final pull of the day. Big deadlift and total personal best with this final pull.
15 kilo personal best, 550 at her first Open Worlds. You know what? That was the perfect weight for her final pull. Rondell got everything he could out of her on that day. 550 it is.
And you know what? Maybe Cranen Orford is not going to drop. Maybe she wants to make it absolutely impossible for Mazur.
It's just, that's pretty gutsy.
Yeah,
Pretty gutsy.
Bettina Hanlon, 2:45, a 15 kilo jump. Betty Bisbee, a huge personal best on deadlift, way above her personal best. And this will pull her momentarily into bronze overall, pushing the hand of Team Canada to make the gargantuan final deadlift.
And Clara Perrault still left the pole, and you never know what she might load up.
She breaks the ground.
Oh, up to the knees. Can she lock it out?
It's just a little too much. It was a big ask, but what a fantastic effort from the British lifter.
Yeah, nice play by Team Britain. They saw a pathway to get a medal.
And as expected, attempt change after attempt change coming in. Perrault looking to drop, maybe searching for a deadlift medal and team points instead of a podium. And of course, we saw Cranen Warford drop to 2:55, which, Ryan, that's the number we were speaking about.
That's the exact number we were looking at. That looks pretty secure with how her day's gone. She's done 261.5, 255 should be there. And that would force Suzanne to be 275.5, which is a monumental ask.
Yeah.
Should be enough.
And I imagine she would load that anyway.
Yeah, she just might. She doesn't look like she's going to be threatened for her silver.
250 kilos for Clara Perrault of France. This would move her into 5th overall and deadlift bronze for the time being. With 2 of the 3 lifters to follow attempting the world record.
She was confident as soon as it came to her knees. Lets out the famous Clara Perrault war cry. What a great performance by that young lady in a stacked 76 kilo class. This has all come down to this.
Just 3 pulls remaining.
I didn't think I'd be saying this, but Cranen needs to hit this if she's going to be a world champion.
It looks like Mazur's actually dropped, so we'll have to see how that pans out after Warford's final pull. But Cranen Warford to try and secure the world title, her very first world title. 255 kilos. She's deadlifted this before. A 10 kilo jump from her second. Cool, calm, collected, and looking to finish the day off. Hopefully picking up that crown, that world title. A little sticky, but
Yeah,
it is there. 3
my
white
gosh.
lines. A good lift.
My goodness.
625.5 total. 3 kilos of the world record total. A huge final pull for Cranen, and does her job to take that world title. And I cannot see an attempt change come in from Azur.
I think that's enough to convince Susanna and Team Poland to back off, go for the world record deadlift, settle for your silver medal, rather, and still, if Susanna hits this, she leaves with 613.5, massive PR total, and begs the question, with this rate of progression, where might she be by the end of 2026? Where might she be in a short few months?
And you've got to think, this is a face-to-face, a battle that we're going to see again, and I look forward to it.
Begs for a rematch. A new rivalry for our sport in the 76s.
And can I just say, what an incredible athlete. The rising star has risen. Susanna Mazur, 263.5 to take the world record, the open world record deadlift, the junior deadlift and total record to end on 613.5, 20 years old. Put the pressure on Team USA, but happy with silver today. A battle I'm sure we'll see for years to come.
Oh, a little too much at the knees, but wow, I tell you what, Cranen was already a star, but you could say a star was born due to winning her first world title, but you could also say the same for Susanna.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw Agatha for the very first time not so long ago hit above 600 in the 69s. Now we have Cranen at 625.5, but also Susanna with 602.5 at 20 years old. Absolutely phenomenal, and we're not done yet. We know who the world champion is, we know who's in silver, but bronze is still up in the air as Chisholm Eze from Canada looks to extend her own world record deadlift by 12 kilos. 275 is what she needs to match Mara Hammes on body weight.
Yeah, this is quite the end to a already spectacular show. World record and podium pole for Team Canada. Just lock it out. So close.
Now, is that locked out? No, unfortunately, 2-1, a no lift. The coach goes to the jury. She secured at least 4th overall. The coach gets sent away, but what a valiant effort from Chisholm Eze.
You know, looking at that replay, that's actually very, very close on that final pole.
And she still walks away having taken the world record on her second. Look at that. Susanna Mazur from Poland, 252.5 in deadlift bronze. Warford from the United States in deadlift silver. And in deadlift gold with a new world record. Chisholm Eze from Canada with 263. And overall, in what was an extraordinary 76 kilo class, Mara Hammes walking away with the bronze with 587.5. Susanna Mazur, absolutely phenomenal rising young athlete, 602.5 in silver, and your new 76 kilo world champion with 625.5, 3 kilos off the world record total. Cranen Warford from the United States, and what a well-earned first world title.
First time we saw Cranen at the World Championship, she won a bronze. Second time she won a silver and was about an inch away from gold, now clinching the crown. I would love to see her keep pushing and see how far she could take it. She unofficially broke the world record at US Nationals. I'd love to see her do that at the international stage.
And may I add, it was the first time in Lithuania last time that we saw Cranen, and doesn't this feel like a full circle moment as she takes the crown? Please do stick around for the medal ceremony after a phenomenal battle. We'll see you there.
the squat event. Bronze medal with 217.5 kilos goes to Zuzana Mazur, Poland. The silver medal with 222.5 kilos goes to Mara Hames, Germany. And squat gold with a new world record of 238 kilos goes to Brandon Warford, USA. Congratulations. Thank you. In the bench press event, the bronze medal with 130 kilos goes to Bettina Hanlon, Great Britain. Bench press silver with 132.5 kilos goes to Brandon Warford, USA. With 132.5 kilos bench press gold goes to Zuzana Mazur, Poland. Congratulations. Thank you. In deadlift event, bronze medal with 252.5 kilos and a new world junior deadlift record goes to Zuzana Mazur, Poland. Deadlift silver with 255 kilos goes to Brandon Warford, USA. And deadlift gold with a new world record of 263 kilos goes to Chisholm, Eze, Canada. Congratulations, thank you. Now the overall rankings. In third place, with 587.5 kilos in total, is Mara Hames, Germany. Second place overall and the title of the vice champion with 602.5 kilos is Zuzana Mazur, Poland. And with a total of 625.5 kilos, your 76-kilo world champion is Brandon Warford, USA.